Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ryan here giving my thoughts on the 2017 Royal Rumble, which has just concluded. Gonna run down the card, give you guys my quick thoughts on a show. Just my overall impressions were that this was an amazing show. I'm actually gonna give this a 4 out of 4 on our famous 1 to 4 ratings scale. That's something I don't do too often at all. So giving this show a 4 out of 4 because honestly, I don't think there was a bad part of this entire show. It was surprisingly enjoyable, up and down. Was everything absolutely, amazing and blew the roof off the place? No, but I really felt like there was pretty much no weak spot. We opened with the 6-man women's tag match, which had, of course, its highlights. Wasn't insane, but I found it pretty enjoyable. It was nice to see Naomi get some fire in there and get a win, looking like she might be the next challenger for Alexa Bliss, which makes perfect sense considering Becky Lynch seems like she's going to be tied up with Mickie James, and then you still got Natalya and Nikki Bella feuding. So looks like we're in line for Naomi to finally get some time to shine, which I think is really cool. We also had Gallows and Anderson finally win the WWE Tag Team Championships on Raw. So glad to see them finally get a much deserved win. They've spent way too much time losing all the time and not looking too great. The double ref stipulation ended up adding a little bit of interest to the match. I'm just happy to see Gallows and Anderson win. So congrats to them. Next up, we had Nia Jax defeating Sasha Banks. This match went exactly as I expected it to, where Nia Jax was able to take advantage of Sasha's knee injury, and that's sort of Sasha's excuse for being defeated so handily. But Nia Jax obviously was the one who needed to get the win here, so I was pretty happy to see that. We also had, opening the card, we had Charlotte defeating Bayley via pinfall for the Raw Women's Championship. As expected, Charlotte's her pay-per-view streak continues. It would have seemed a little abrupt to just have it end right then and there at the Royal Rumble. Also, Bayley, if she's gonna win her first Raw Women's Championship, she has to really scratch and claw for it. This is really her first big-time title shot. So they gotta really make us want it more. They gotta make us want to see Bayley more, and it's a little too soon for that. Next up, we had Kevin Owens defeating Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship. I thought this was an awesome match. They really made good use of the no disqualification rule set. There was a cool pyramid of chairs that Kevin Owens fell onto. There was also frog splash table spot, power bomb through the announce table, just tons of carnage. It was a really enjoyable match. The brass knuckles that Jericho threw down from the shark cage, it really kept things interesting the whole time. Did not expect Braun Strowman to kind of come into the mix and end up costing Reigns the match. I was really surprised. I was fully expecting to see Roman Reigns win the title here, but instead Kevin Owens hangs on. Next up, we had Neville defeating Rich Swan for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. This went as expected. I think for the Cruiserweight division to succeed, we really needed to see a shift. And Neville is somebody that the crowd is more familiar with than anyone else in the Cruiserweight division. And I think that's going to help get people a little bit more interested, because right now, even though there's a ton of talent in the Cruiserweight division, the crowd, the WWE universe is not quite invested in it yet, but Neville seems like the right guy for the job to get this division going. Finally, before getting to the Rumble match itself, we had John Cena defeating AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. My predictions were totally flipped. I thought Reigns would win and Styles would retain. Instead, it's the other way around, and John Cena gets that win. This was an awesome match. I really like that they didn't try and emulate the formula of the other Cena Styles matches. This had a much more different feel to it, more of an emphasis on submissions. And then in the end, if AJ Styles is gonna get beat, getting beat the way he did still makes him look fine. He kicked out of the top rope AA, then it took 2 AAs in a row. He kind of did a roll into the final AA. And that finally put AJ Styles away. Cena now a 16-time WWE champion. We all knew the record was coming, that Cena would tie it at some point, and sure enough, he did. I'm happy to see it. AJ had a good run. I'm sure he will get the title again at some point. But it's Mania season. You got to expect John Cena to be getting the title at some point. He hasn't held it in so long. And it really paints an interesting picture for where we're going forward with WrestleMania, because we don't really know. Now, finally, the Royal Rumble match. So, all these matches leading up, not a single bad match on the card, in my opinion. We get to the Royal Rumble match. I thought they did an extremely good job. There was a lack of surprise entrance here. We had Ty Dillinger coming out at number 10, which was really cool. Other than that, we didn't have any old school legends show up or any really other unexpected people coming out. And I think that just shows there was with two rosters, and then you've got Lesnar, Taker, and Goldberg getting in there too, that there was just too many people to really have a lot of those flex spots that they usually do. Some big disappointments, of course. We were expecting, Samoa Joe to be making his debut or something like that. That didn't end up happening. And we got maybe one of the most unexpected Royal Rumble winners, at least going into this one. So Randy Orton ends up winning the 2017 Royal Rumble. But just talking about the match itself, I think they did a very good job of keeping things interesting the entire time. It very rarely felt like there was a lull because, whether it was Braun Strowman first coming in and dominating, then you had Baron Corbin coming in and dominating, then you kind of had the Sheamus Cesaro plus the New Day kind of taking over for a little bit before, then you had Brock Lesnar just clean house, then Goldberg immediately is able to eliminate Brock Lesnar, then Undertaker coming in and he's kind of dominating, and then all of a sudden we're randomly left with Roman Reigns comes out at number 30, and that's when a lot of people got nervous, right? Nobody really expected Roman Reigns to be coming into the Rumble. Traditionally, if you're in a title match during the pay-per-view, it's very unlikely that you're going to show up in the Royal Rumble. It's not impossible, but I don't think a lot of people were expecting Roman Reigns to be a part of it. It really felt like the ultimate troll by WWE. They're like, hey, look, we're going to give Roman Reigns another win. You thought the title match was one thing. He couldn't make it in the Rumble. No, here he is. So that scared the hell out of me. I was like, really? I don't have anything against Roman Reigns, really, but it's more just how they position him sometimes. And if they were going to give him this Rumble win, I think that would have set a lot of people off. But it was really just to get people nervous because Randy Orton did eventually end up being the winner. So we had some interesting storylines coming out of this pay-per-view. Like I said, we had the Goldberg-Lesnar thing continue. It's possible that they could end up facing each other at WrestleMania again. Goldberg kind of flexing that he's basically the kryptonite for Brock Lesnar. But then we also had Undertaker eliminating Goldberg. But is that a match we really want to see? Undertaker Goldberg? I'm not so sure. So we don't really know what's going on with there. There's a chance we got Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns with the interference happening earlier in the night. But Randy Orton winning the Royal Rumble, what does this mean? I mean, we look at the picture right now. If, all titles stay the same until WrestleMania, we have allegedly John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania, which is scaring the hell out of a lot of people, right? I think that's unlikely to happen. There's always a chance, but that seems like it would be a very controversial decision. Considering they've had just so many matchups, I don't think anyone wants to see that. Now, Orton could challenge Kevin Owens if he's still Universal Champion. I'm not so sure that's a particularly interesting matchup either. I'm pretty sure they've faced each other a number of times, so we don't really know what's going on here. There's a chance, hey, we got Elimination Chamber coming up, right? Orton likely now will not be a part of that, considering he's got his shot at Mania. Could be interesting if, say, a Bray Wyatt is able to win the Elimination Chamber, and then you have Wyatt versus Orton, who are supposed to be buddies, facing each other. There's a chance we end up getting Kevin Owens versus Jericho. So we sort of have two title match main events at WrestleMania about friends who have to face each other. So that's kind of a theme you got going on there. But there's a ton of interesting ways that this could all play out. Yeah, so anyway, I thought Royal Rumble was an excellent show. The only part I got really scared of was when Roman Reigns came out at number 30, but they didn't go all the way with Reigns. They showed us mercy. They gave us an interesting, super unexpected win. I don't think many people would have called Randy Orton getting the win, so it is very intriguing to see what matchups could play out. We could get AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. There's a lot of very interesting matchups you could do with Orton, so I'm excited to see where it goes, because I really have no idea what WrestleMania now is going to shape up to be. So anyway, that's my review. Make sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments. What did you think of Royal Rumble? What did you think of the Royal Rumble match? Just give me your overall thoughts, what you expected, what was unexpected for you, what surprised you. Yeah, so that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to catch our full thoughts on the podcast this Wednesday. We'll talk about Royal Rumble. We'll talk about Raw. We will talk about SmackDown. We'll talk about NXT TakeOver that happened this weekend as well. If you'd like to go the extra mile in supporting us, you can also head over to patreon.com/Byte that. For as little as $1, you can get some sweet perks from us, including a raw and uncut video version of the weekly podcast that we do. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.